natin ang iba't ibang ahensya mula sa ating Joint Information Center at saka para po magsimula ito, katatapos lang kasi noong ating pagpupulong kasama ng ating mahal na Pangulo at saka ng ating NDRMC Chair Secretary Gilberto Sudoro Jr. Ganun din yung aming Office of the Civil Defense Administrator Yusek Harold N. Cabreros. At para po sa unang mga updates po, ibibigay ko po sa inyo si ASIC Rafi Alejandro, ang aming Civil Defense Deputy Administrator.
Yes, good morning po sa ating lahat and welcome again to the OCD or NDRIMC Operation Center. At ngayon po ay magbibigay kami ng updates as to the progress of our monitoring dito sa Tropical Cyclone 1. So again, just this morning, the NDRIMC briefed the President on the current situation. Kaya kanina po ay nagpulong ang NDRMC at nagbigay tayo ng updates sa ating Pangulo, and giving him the situation on the ground and what we are currently doing. So the storm right now is out of landmass. Meron na lang mga scattered rains ang ma-experience ng ating mga kababayan, lalo na dito sa Central and Northern Luzon. So yung mata po ng bagyo ay wala na po sa kalupaan, but the typhoon is still within the Philippine area of responsibility as we speak. So just to give you an update, as of this morning, a total of 426,000 or approximately 1.4 million individuals were preemptively evacuated in regions CAR 1, 2, 3, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, 5, 6, NIR, 7, and 8 as a precautionary measure due to the potential impact of Tropical Cyclone 1. The effects of the typhoon were reported in 2,700 barangays, affecting around 231,000 families or 837,000 persons. Of these, 92,000 families or 318,000 individuals are currently staying inside 6,000 evacuation centers located across regions 4A, Mimaropa, 4B, 5, 6, NIR, 7, 8, and Caraga. Meanwhile, 50,000 families or 165 individuals are displaced and are being assisted outside evacuation centers. As regards casualties, we have reported that 2 dead, 1 from Biga and 1 from Bato, and 2 injured individuals. These incidents are still under validation by our concerned regional and local DRRMCs. On the status of lifelines, 155 cities and municipalities are still experiencing power interruptions, while 15 had resumed. 13 areas with water supply interruption with 2 restored, and 14 areas have reported communication interruption. In terms of mobility, 71 roads are still not passable, with 16 passable and 26 bridges have reported limited access, while 3 are not passable. 1 airport had resumed trips and 180 seaports have canceled trips due to the weather. A total of 132 areas remain flooded as of this morning, while 13 were affected by storm surges as of the latest monitoring. In terms of damaged houses, 1,085 houses are reported to be damaged, 89 of which are totally damaged and 996 are partially damaged houses. Assessment and validation are still ongoing. For suspension of work and classes, 615 cities and municipalities have suspended work operations, while 995 have suspended classes as a precautionary measure. So we accounted 6,200 passengers and 2,900 rolling cargos, 80 vessels, and 24 motor bangkas stranded during the passage of Typhoon 1. So there are also 72 emergency alert and warning messages disseminated to include pertaining to tropical cyclone warning signal, heavy rainfall warning, and storm surge that were sent by our operations center. So in terms of assistance provided by the National Response Cluster under the food and non-food items, a total of 6.4 million worth of assistance have been provided so far. No? Of this amount, 4.4 million was extended by the DSWD, 447,060 came from various local government units, and 1.5 million were provided by other partners. These food and non-food items consisting of 4,776 family food packs, 2,699 ready-to-eat food, 150 modular tents. So ang ating DSWD po ay meron pa pong stockpile on hand amounting to 2.3 billion pesos. So under the search, rescue and retrieval operations, a total of 3,497 teams and 7,308 assets from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Bureau of Fire Protection, the Philippine Coast Guard, and the PNP were prepositioned, while 894 teams and 190 assets were deployed during or to support the ongoing operations. So for logistics, we have air assets available, 17. We have 3,947 land assets available and 148 sea assets available from the Armed Forces, the Bureau of Fire, PNP, and the Coast Guards, which are all on standby and ready for mobilization. And lastly, for the health, yung ating DOH po ay meron pong 156 million worth of health logistics that is currently available. So, as we speak po, the response operation is ongoing. Yung ating kasamahan po dito ay magbibigay sa inyo ng updates regarding their current operations. So, magandang umaga po at maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Asek Rafi. At ngayon naman po, para magbigay din sa atin ng updates, kasama natin from the Philippine Coast Guard, we have Captain John Barameda. Sir?
Morning, sirs. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. With the guidance of our Commandant, Admiral Gaban, these are the following efforts of the Philippine Coast Guard. The PCG was able to preemptively evacuated 175,000 individuals and rescued 435 individuals during the height of the typhoon from yesterday until as of this moment. Our stranded passengers and cargoes are concentrated in Bicol ports. The action of the PCG involved the deployment of 784 teams composed of 5,000 personnel, 197 floating assets, and 115 mobile assets. Our standby and reserve teams is also composed of 335 DRGs and composed of 2,700 personnel and a floating asset of 97 and 53 mobile assets. We have 0 maritime casualties, 0 missing, 0 oil spill, minor incident involving 4 aground of non-propelled barges with no possibility of oil spill. The PCG has its Oplan Bandilyo, the aggressive conduct of information dissemination of all coastal communities regarding the impact of our typhoon. So for our way forward, we will be delivering within a few hours from now the 10,000 family food packs from DSWD to Catanduanes area, And also, we already have distributed food packs also to our area in Luzon. So, by this, all district in the area are directed to coordinate local DRRMOs to support in the recovery operation of early affected areas. That's it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Captain Jan. At makakasama naman po natin mula sa Bureau of Fire Protection, we have the Senior Superintendent Bonifacio Carta. Sir.
Good morning, Ma'am, Sir. I am now reporting the initial activities conducted by the Bureau of Fire Protection under the steadfast leadership of our Chief BFP, Fire Director Jesus Piedad Fernandez, in response to Tropical Storm Uwa that is currently hitting the country. In line with our agency's mandate to respond to emergencies, disasters, and calamities to save lives and properties, the BFP has deployed 30,362 BFP personnel equipped with 3,716 land asset. Next slide, please. Next slide. Composed of fire trucks, medical ambulances, rescue trucks, and personnel transport vehicles to include 67 water assets composed of rescue boats, rubber boats, and fire boats. As of 9 a.m. today, the BFP has helped in the evacuation of 181,064 individuals, rescued 12, and retrieved 2 cadavers. As to humanitarian assistance conducted, the BFP has monitored the needs of 3,680 evacuation centers. Next slide, please. Help in the packing and hauling of relief goods in coordination with other agencies, which counted to 97 activities, resulting to the packing of 25,000 relief goods more or less, and 29 water rationing conducted. The BFP has also helped in road clearing and flushing operations, whereas of this reporting, we're able to conduct 157 road clearing and 8 flushing activities and still counting until the crisis will be finally over. I would like to state, in the heart of every community stands a force unwavering and ready. The Bureau of Fire Protection are resolved, strengthened, fueled by the solemn promise to protect and serve. Every alarm that sounds, every emergencies that calls, we respond with unmatched readiness and courage, facing disaster, calamities, and the unpredictable flames that threaten lives and homes. We stand as guardians of safety. Our commitment goes beyond duty and its steadfast pledge to help everyone. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Sir Boni. At ngayon naman po makakasama natin via VTC, no? Kasama po natin ang spokesperson ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. We have Colonel Francela Margaret Padilla. Ma'am.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Para po sa status po ng ating operations po, no, para po sa pagtugon sa Bagyong Uwan, sa Armed Forces of the Philippines po, naka-red alert po ang status pa rin natin sa buong Armed Forces of the Philippines bilang tugon po sa epekto nga po nitong Bagyong Uwan. Lahat po ng ating unified commands at ang ating major services ay tuloy-tuloy po ang mobilization para tumulong sa rescue, relief at recovery operations. Kaagapay po natin, no, ang Office of the Civil Defense at ang mga local na DRRM Council, katuwang po ang iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno dito. Kanina pong umaga, nagpulong po ang ating battle staff ng Armed Forces of the Philippines para po mas mabilis at mas maayos na ma-coordinate ang lahat po ng response operations natin nationwide. Sa ngayon po, nakapag-deploy po ang Armed Forces of the Philippines ng 349 disaster response task units at search and rescue and retrieval teams po. Sa iba't ibang lugar po, no, na tinamaan ng Super Typhoon Uwan. May nakapreposition din po tayo nga 1,159 DRTUs at SRR teams na handa
Nawala si Colonel Franz, no?
auxiliaries, at ang ating mga force multipliers po, no, ang ating mga reserve forces. Kasabay po nito, meron po tayong 11,903 personnel nationwide na nakapreposition po para sa magbilisang augmentation anuman pong oras. For our HADR assets naman po na dineploy po natin, meron po tayong 68 na land assets, up to rubber boats na nakadeploy ngayon sa critical areas, and nakapreposition naman po ang 2,831 land assets natin, 154 surface assets natin, ito po yung ating mga naval vessels, no, 28 vessels and 126 rubber boats, and we also have 51 air assets, 11 po dito ay fixed wing and 40 are rotary wing po. Ito po yung mga ginagamit natin para po sa paghatid natin ng relief goods, pag-evacuate ng mga residente, at paglipat po ng personnel sa mga lugar na nangangailangan. Noong 9 November po, no, nag-deploy po ang ating Philippine Navy ng kanilang Combat Service Support and Rescue Team. Kasama po dito ang CDR-RMO ng Navotas para po tumulong sa ating disaster response. Meron din po tayong SRR teams na nag-a-assist po sa force evacuation sa Barangay Tatalon. Sa initial monitoring po natin, 36 families na po ang ating nailipat sa evacuation center dyan po sa Diosdado Macapagal Elementary School. Sa Santa Ana, Cagayan naman po, nagsama-sama ang 210th Marine Company, BFP, Philippine Navy, PCG, MDR-RMO at DSWD po para po sa ating monitoring ng evacuation centers at relief distribution po sa Barangay Tangatan. Dito po pinapakita po nito ang tuloy-tuloy at buong pusong commitment po ng AFP na tumulong sa ating mga LGUs na tiyakin pong ligtas at handa ang ating mga komunidad. Patuloy din po ang mahigpit na koordinasyon ng AFP sa OCD, PCG, PNP at ang mga DRRM councils po sa buong bansa. Tuloy din po ang ating real-time monitoring at mabilisang pag-deploy sa ating mga units sa mga lugar na nangangailangan po ng agarang tulong. Sa pagtatapos po, mananatili pong naka-red alert ang AFP at tuloy-tuloy po ang deployment ng ating personnel at assets para sa rescue, relief at recovery operations. Buo po ang koordinasyon namin kasama po ang OCD, ang PCG, PNP at iba pong mga ahensya at mga lokal na DRRM councils para masiguro po na mabilis at maayos ang pagtugon natin sa ating mga apektadong komunidad. Ang pakiusap po namin, makinig po tayo sa advisories at sumunod po tayo sa evacuation orders para po sa lahat ng inyong kaligtasan. Mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Andito po lagi ang inyong sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas para po sumaklolo at kung kaisa po nyo kami saan mang bahagi po ng ating bansa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Colonel Franz. At ngayon po, we open the floor for questions from the media. Go ahead, sir. Pakilala na lang po. And your,
Hi, sir. Good morning po. Si Michael Deliso po ito ng ABS-CBN News. ASEC, meron po kayo binanggit kanina na 2 namatay at 2 injuries. Saang mga lugar po ito? And yung mga namatay po, ano po yung circumstances po noon kung may impormasyon na po kayo, sir?
One reported doon sa Biga, Catanduanes was due to drowning, no? The other one in Catbalogan City, Samar, nadaganan ng collapse structure. So the 2 other injured individual ay isa sa Bato at isa sa Iloilo, sa Kalinog. Ito yung na-kuryente or ito yung nahulog, no, while fixing his roof bago tumama yung bagyo.
Yung isa sa Bato, anong province po yun, sir?
Bato, Catanduanes.
Bato, Catanduanes. Thank you, sir.
thank you, Michael. Marlene. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi po. Sa PCG po, manghihingi lang po ako ng detalye po doon sa nabanggit niyo kaninang minor incident po na naitala niyo, yung lumubog, aground, ano po ang detalye nun, sir?
Bali, for the 4 vessels na aground, we will just give you the exact location of the 4 aground vessel later. Ano lang namin yung specific location. Yes, happen.
Anong vessel yun, sir?
Mga barges na walang propeller. So there's no na magkaroon ng oil spill.
Okay. Sir, di ba po kapag may bagyo, sir, parang meron tayong itinataas na warning na bawat no sail po, no sail policy po. Bakit po sila lumalayag that time?
Hindi siya nakalayag. So usually yung mga vessel natin ay nakapunta na yan sa mga safe area. Pero dahil nga talaga sa malaking area ng ating bagyo ngayon, hindi na maiwasan na talagang nagkakaroon ng ganung insidente.
So parang habang naka safe, natamaan pa na sila ng
Yes, ng mga lakas ng strong winds
ng
and current.
alon.
Yes.
May kayo kahit yung region lang, sir, kung lugar.
Mamaya siguro yan.
Later na lang. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you po.
Thank you, Marlene. Yes, Bea.
Good afternoon, sir. Ask ko lang po yung regarding dun sa damages natin, sir, sa agriculture and also sa infrastructure. Meron na po ba tayong data regarding those po?
Wala pa, no? Kasi ongoing pa yung ating rapid damage needs assessment. So, kalalabas lang naman ng bagyo kaninang madaling araw. So, ano po, this is the right time to have it. So, hopefully by today or hanggang bukas, we'll get figures already.
But do you have, sir, a rough estimate lang po, especially sa agriculture? if
Wala pa
ever?
po, wala pa.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Bea. Yes, Mark?
Mark Macalalad from DCWB. Sir, kamusta ko lang yung sitwasyon sa Aurora? Pwedeng pakilarawan, ano yung challenges na kinakaharap ngayon doon ng mga naapektuhan ng bagyo?
Yung Aurora is the landfall area, no? So, ang initial info natin kaninang madaling araw is that isolated yung 4 na munisipyo because of landslides, no? So, kaninang madaling araw din at nagbigay na tayo ng utos na tulungan kaagad yung LGU ng ating DPWH na ma-clear ito para maabot na rin sila kaagad. And at the same time, ma-restore or bigyan ng communication kasi our region is having difficult time connecting with them, no, or getting updates. So, yun po, that was already given, and meron na pong mga taong pupunta doon and to check and validate yung kuan. But we haven't received any updates yet as to the current situation. So, yun po.
Sir, ano yung 4 na munisipyo na isolated?
Yung, sandali memorize. Yung Kasiguran, di Lasag, Dinalungan, and Dipakulaw.
And sir, ilan yung landslides na recorded na sa Aurora?
Wala pa pong exact number, but ilan mo sinabi ng NGP kahapon? May mga landslide. Wala, we'll get that later na, kung may mga initial na.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Before the next question, we would also like to acknowledge, sa online, nandun pa rin si Colonel Francel Padilla, from the AFP. And from here also, we also have Colonel Esmeraldo Osia Jr., from the Philippine National Police. At bago po yung isang katanungan ulit from the media, Captain John, you have
Yes, sir.
info kanina.
We already have the information for a ground. For the grounding, tugboat of Sea Asia 2 and barge Sea Asia 102. It is approximately 100 meters from the shoreline of San Jose Fishport at San Jose Antique. So ito po yung sinasabi natin na naka-shelter na siya doon at naka-anchor, pero because of the strong current and wind talagang nagkaroon pa rin ng konting aksidente. Likewise, a grounding incident involving LCT Felicity 8 at the vicinity of waters of Barangay Wawa, Nasugbu, Batangas, and also the submerged motor bangka Shenalin 2, vicinity waters of Barangay Santo Niño, Sitio Manukan, San Vicente, Palawan. Yun po yung 4, sir, na ground, sir. Thank you.
So, wala naman, sir, casualties po doon, mga nakasakay that time po nung ground sila.
Yes, wala namang reported casualty dun sa ano. Thank you.
Ngayon, sir.
Nandun pa rin sa area kasi na-ground siya. So, our Coast Guard district are already on the area and assessing all the damages and how they can make recommendation for that incident na maging safe.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Before we, thank you, Captain John, thank you, Marlene. Before we proceed doon sa question on J. Mark, let's acknowledge po muna, I believe Ma'am Celerina Monte from NHK is raising your hand. Ma'am, go ahead.
Yes po, good morning po. Just clarification lang po, kasi kanina parang narinig ko yung PCG saying na there were 2 cadavers that were retrieved. So, if ever, different po ba siya dun sa dalawa na reported deaths po ng OCD kanina?
The same po ma'am yung dalawa ma'am, yung sa Catanduanes and yung nahulugan ma'am ng debris po.
Okay. Doon po na mababa po yung number of casualties natin. Where can the government attribute this? And do you think the tragic incident, particularly in Cebu, somehow helped in convincing the people to follow the preemptive evacuation sa OCD po?
Yes, thank you for that. No? Yes, malaki po ang factor ng ating ginawang preemptive evacuation. No? In fact, our numbers show that meron pong 1.4 million individuals na reported na sumama sa preemptive evacuation. So that's 426 families. And of course, may factor din yung nangyari sa Cebu and our constant drive in issuing the warnings sa ating mga local government units and making sure that they act or implement their preemptive or preparatory activities. So yun po, those two are very valid po. That's why we can attribute it to the cooperation ng ating mga kababayan and of course the implementation of our local government units of their protocols po.
Salamat po.
Thank you, Ms. Sel. J. Mark, you have a question?
Good morning po. Asek, kanina nabanggit ninyo na nagbigay ng update ang OCD kay Pangulong Marcos. Ano po ba can you share with us, ano po yung mga naging fresh directives po niya regarding sa Super Typhoon na Uwan?
Oo. Ang nangyari lang naman kanina, he wanted to know what is going on or the actual situation on the ground. So we were able to provide that. Ang utos po niya is for us to continue with our response and relief operations and continue monitoring itong mga pangangailangan ng ating mga local government units and then prioritize the immediate rehabilitation of damaged lifelines, So kaya nga napaka-importante na matapos kaagad itong rapid damage and needs assessment natin. And then of course, isang importanteng utos niya kanina is that we should be able, lahat tayo, kami sa NDRMC, we should maintain our readiness for the typhoon season, Kasi hanggang December pa ito. So yun po. And nabanggit din naman niya, he commended itong preemptive evacuation na marami pong sumama which contributed to itong very minimal na casualty.
Thank you, J. Mark. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi po, I'm Marjo po from DZXL. This question is, for confirmation lang po kay Sir Osia po. Meron po kasi doon na report sa PIA Nueva Vizcaya, meron daw po na 2 kambal, dalawa na namatay po, 5 years old po. Sa Nueva Vizcaya po, sa barangay Balangabang, Cayapa, mga 2:30 AM daw po.
Okay, regarding po dun sa reported na casualty, siguro ito po yung kasama sa landslide na nangyari sa incident kanina. But I referred it to the DILG kasi yung pag-announce ng death and missing person is the LGU is in charge, but while the PNP is also assisting and verifying the reports. So, ibinigay na po namin yung assistance and provided the reports to the DLG. So, itong incident na yan ay totoo po nangyari yan sa landslide kanina, early morning.
So, sir, it's confirmed.
Yung incident po, confirmed.
Yes, confirmed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And in relation to that, no, the process kasi of those reports, no, are kaya nababanggit ni Sir Osia, no, it's going to the DILG because the DILG at all levels yan hanggang dun sa LDRIMC natin, ano, is the head of the management of the dead and missing cluster. And then yung proseso naman ng pag-submit nun, syempre, from the local DRRM council to the regional, tas ang regional magpapasa sa atin dito sa national. Kasi yung MDM cluster ang may hawak na. No? So until then, we'll be able to reflect that at the national level.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, from Reuters, Mr. Michael Flores. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Sir Juni. Asik Rafi, in terms of the fatalities, may mga reports pa ba on the ground na hindi pa reflected aside from dun sa na-mention sa Nueva Vizcaya, and do expect the number to still go up given that early hours pa rin naman since Typhoon 1 left the Philippine landmass?
It's for me it's too early to tell, but based on initial reports, mukhang ito na lang kung meron man dagdag 1 or 2, but it will be very minimal, no, based on initial reports that we're getting from the ground. So ang titingnan na lang natin dito talaga yung extent ng damage na dala niya. Pasalamat tayo na very minimal ang casualties, and yun na lang, titingnan natin yung damage. That's how we see it now.
And ito, sir, thank you, sir. Itong yung sa Nueva Vizcaya na incident, when do you expect that to be reflected dun sa national tally natin? Tapos, dalawa lang ba yung nakita natin na fatality, or are we, or may mga iba pa na nakita dun sa incident na yan?
If we're referring to the Nueva Vizcaya, no, incident ng dalawa, wala na siguro, ito na lang. Siguro within the day, this will be validated ng ating MDM, no? If ever, yun lang naman ang madagdag dito.
Sir, last na, may mga iba pa bang landslide incidents kayo na monitor na may malaking concentration of population na kailangan din bantayan in case may mga natabunan na mga bahay or mga tao?
So far, wala naman, no? But ang aming MGB ngayon, as a matter of protocol, will be checking yung mga high-risk areas kasi titingnan natin. Kasi yung pwede naman kasi mangyari after the passage of the typhoon, pwede pa rin magkaroon ng landslide. So our MGB will be doing this just to check, no? Meron naman silang listahan. But so far, wala pa po.
Okay. Sige. Thank you, Asik Rafi. Salamat.
Thank you very much, Michael. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Sir, good afternoon. Gab Villegas from PTV. So far po, sir, ano na po yung naibigay po na assistance ng OCD, pati na rin po ng iba pang agencies doon sa mga areas na dinaanan po nitong bagyong Uwan?
Of course, no, prior to the onslaught nitong typhoon, meron nang nakaprepo yung ating DSWD. So what we're doing now is to augment itong mga nagamit na or magagamitin, ano. So nandyan naman yan. As I've said, DSWD has enough reserves. Nakalagay ito sa mga strategic resources areas, no. And then so far today, lalo na after nitong Ardena, makuha natin yung mga priority needs, no, doon sa areas, and we will be providing them. But initially po, mga anticipated needs na binigay sa amin, especially sa Region 1 and Region 3, no, ito lang naman, very basic, no, yung tubig, hygiene kits, family packs, at saka mga shelter repair kits or NGI sheets. So yun po, yung number will depend on pag natapos yung rapid assessment, no. But these items are readily available from DSWD, karamihan dyan, yung family food packs. Sa OCD naman, we have tarpaulins, yung DSUD are also ready to provide housing materials.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Kung wala na pong questions,
Sir Junie,
okay lang.
sir. Sir,
yes,
good afternoon.
Ivan.
Si
go
Ivan,
ahead.
si Ivan.
Go ahead, Ivan.
Itanong ko lang yung 4 na isolated municipalities in Aurora. Do we expect to reach them within the day, sirs?
Yes, we expect to reach them within the day. Baka nga ngayong umaga meron na po. We'll check po. Kasi kaninang madaling araw, nagbigay na tayo ng utos para po pabilisan ang clearing para ma-reach po itong mga areas na ito.
Salamat po.
Thank you, Ivan. From online, meron pa po magtatanong. Go ahead.
Sir, pahabol po na tanong, meron na po ba tayong details about do sa sumadsad na barko sa Lemery, Batangas?
As of now, wala pa kaming naano dun sa Lemery. Yung ano namin dito is yung sa Nasugbo, Batangas. But we will get back to you later kung confirm namin yan sa Lemery.
Okay po, salamat.
Thank you. So kung wala na pong pahabol na tanong, siguro unahin po natin, Colonel Franz, anything you'd like to add or your message po for as an end po dito sa ating press conference?
Basically, sir, naibigay naman po namin ang mga numero. Andyan po lahat ng buong puwersa po ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas, naka-standby, prepositioned, on top of the ones that are already deployed. So we are closely working with all government agencies in this. Isa po tayong buong whole of government approach para po dito sa pagtulong sa ating mga kababayan. So rest assured po that the Armed Forces of the Philippines will never falter in our duty to protect our Filipino, for the Filipino people po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Colonel Franz. And from the Philippine National Police, Colonel Osia, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. For the PNP, under the leadership of our acting chief PNP, Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr., our commitment is that we remain steadfast in its mission to serve and protect the Filipino people before, during, and after disasters. When in fact, the Philippine National Police is still in the full alert status on the area, and nationwide we remain at heightened alert status. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colonel Osia. Captain John from the Philippine Coast Guard.
From the leadership of our Commandant, Admiral Gaban, as part of the whole of government approach under the NDRRMC in support of the local NDRRMOs, the Philippine Coast Guard remains committed to deliver public service fast and right as directed by our President in our common quest for Bagong Pilipinas. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain John and Superintendent Carta, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning once again. Ang Bureau of Fire Protection po, as of now po ay hindi pa po nagbababa ng alert status. Nasa full alert status po ang Bureau of Fire Protection, Code Red, at ang lahat po ng mga bombero sa buong Pilipinas ay nasa kanilang mga pwesto upang tumugon sa lahat ng pangangailangan ng ating mga kababayan sa hamon na ginagawa natin ngayon sa panahong ito. At ang Bureau of Fire Protection po, kung sa tingin niyo po ay kailangan niyo ang kanilang tulong, gamitin lang po natin ang emergency hotline 911 at para sa mas mabilis po na pagtugon, panatilihin po natin ang mga numero ng mga pinakamalapit na fire station sa ating lugar para sa mabilis na pagdating ng bombero, pagdating ng pangangailangan niyo po. Maraming salamat po.
And Asek Rafi.
Yes, on behalf of the entire NDRMC, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this morning. Rest assured that your NDRMC, under the leadership of Secretary Teodoro and ayon na rin sa kautusan ng ating Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos, ay still on high alert, making sure that we continue our response and relief operations dito sa mga areas na affected nitong Super Typhoon Uwan. So hindi pa po tapos ito. We will continue prioritizing relief operations and making sure that yung mga tulong ay makaabot sa mga communities natin at yung mga LGUs natin ay matulungan ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan. So we will maintain our readiness hanggang December po at tuloy-tuloy lang po ang aming pagbibigay serbisyo. So maraming salamat po at magandang umaga ulit.
Thank you very much, ASEC Rafi. At dito po sa aming pang-umagang press conference po, no, let me end with ito pong quote from the President Bongbong Marcos Jr. kanina sa pagpupulong. Ang sinabi niya po, once again, this shows how effective preemptive evacuation is. This approach clearly minimized casualties despite the strength of the storm. Sabi po ng ating Pangulo, congratulations to the LGUs and to agencies for carrying out the evacuations effectively and to the citizens for listening and cooperating. Sabi niya po, every loss is tragic, but of course, preparedness is really, really key to this. Let's keep monitoring and continue support operations. He also further said, let's also remember that the typhoon season isn't over yet, so we must stay alert. Let's continue improving our preparedness and mitigation measures. End of quote. At dyan po nagtatapos ang aming press conference. Again, maraming salamat sa ating mga kasamahan sa media sa pagpapabot ng mga mahalagang impormasyon. Napakalaki po ng tulong ninyo dito sa isinagawa nating pagpapaabot nitong mga preemptive evacuations at saka sa mga direktiba po, no, mula sa ating ahensya. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga DRRM workers, no, sa ating response agencies at sa ating pong mga kababayan. Maraming salamat po. Patuloy tayong mag-iingat.